You know, as we get older, it's natural to think about our health a little more, about how to stay strong, active, and enjoy every day to the fullest. But here's something you might not know. After 75, nearly all deaths happen for just 5 main reasons. The good news? Many of these can be influenced by the choices we make every single day. So today, let's talk about what those reasons are, and, most importantly, how you can avoid them and keep feeling your best for years to come. Now, I'm not here to scare you. In fact, it's just the opposite. When we understand what we're up against, we can take simple, practical steps to stay ahead of it. And trust me, these aren't drastic changes, just small, everyday habits that add up to a big difference. Let's start with the first big one: heart disease. It's the leading cause of death in older adults. But here's the thing: it's also one of the most preventable. You see, as we age, our arteries can stiffen, blood pressure might creep up, and plaque can build up in our blood vessels. But that doesn't mean we're powerless. In fact, one of the best things you can do is as simple as taking a daily walk. Not a marathon, just a nice, steady 20 to 30-minute stroll. It keeps your heart strong, your circulation healthy, and your mood lifted. And if you pair that with eating more leafy greens, like spinach or kale, and cutting back on processed foods, you're already giving your heart a fighting chance. Another thing to watch out for is chronic inflammation. Now, that might sound complicated, but think of it like this. When your body is constantly fighting little fires, whether from stress, poor diet, or lack of movement, it can lead to bigger problems down the road. But here's a trick. Add a sprinkle of turmeric to your meals. It's a spice that's been used for centuries to calm inflammation. Or try a handful of walnuts. They're packed with omega-3s, which are like little firefighters for your body. Now, the second major reason is something many of us don't talk about enough: respiratory diseases, like COPD or pneumonia. As we age, our lungs just don't have the same capacity they used to. But there's a simple way to keep them strong: deep breathing exercises. Try this. Sit comfortably. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a few seconds. Then exhale gently through your mouth. Doing this for just 5 minutes a day can make a real difference. And if you're a former smoker, it's never too late to quit. Your lungs have an amazing ability to heal, even later in life. And while we're on the topic of prevention, let's not forget about staying hydrated. Dry, irritated airways are more prone to infections, so keep a glass of water nearby and sip throughout the day. Herbal teas count too. Chamomile or ginger tea can be soothing and hydrating at the same time. Now, these are just the first 2 reasons, but already you can see how small tweaks to your daily routine can have a huge impact. And the best part? None of this feels like a chore. It's about making little choices that add up to a healthier, happier you. So let's keep going. Next, we'll talk about another major factor, one that often flies under the radar, but is just as important as the others. Because when you know what to look for, you can take control and keep enjoying life the way you deserve to. You know, one of the biggest concerns I hear from folks over 75 is the fear of losing their independence, whether it's because of a sudden fall or a slow decline in mobility. And that brings us to the third major reason behind most health challenges later in life: strokes and vascular issues. Now, strokes can be scary because they often happen without warning, but there are ways to dramatically lower your risk. It all comes down to blood flow, keeping those little rivers inside your body running smoothly. Here's something simple but powerful. If you take just one thing away from this, let it be this: move more, sit less, even if it's just standing up every 30 minutes to stretch or doing seated leg lifts while watching TV. The goal is to keep your blood circulating. And let's talk about salt for a second. Too much can sneak up on us, especially in processed foods, and it's a major player in high blood pressure. Try seasoning your meals with herbs like rosemary or garlic instead. They add flavor without the extra sodium, and your arteries will thank you. Another trick? A small handful of berries every day. Blueberries, strawberries, even frozen ones. They're packed with compounds that help protect your blood vessels. Think of them like tiny scrub brushes for your circulation. And if you're on blood pressure medication, always take it as prescribed. But also know that these little daily habits can work hand in hand with your doctor's advice to keep you stronger, longer. Now, the fourth reason might surprise you because it's not always talked about in the same way as heart disease or strokes, but it's just as critical. Infections, especially pneumonia and urinary tract infections. As we age, our immune systems don't respond as quickly as they used to, and something as simple as a UTI can spiral if not caught early. But here's the good news. Prevention is straightforward. First, stay on top of your vaccinations. The pneumonia vaccine and yearly flu shot aren't just for other people. They're your frontline defense. And here's a tip you might not hear often. Practice good oral hygiene. Sounds odd, right? But bacteria in your mouth can travel to your lungs, increasing the risk of pneumonia. So brush twice a day, floss gently, and if you wear dentures, keep them clean. It's a small habit with big rewards. Another thing, don't ignore a lingering cough or low-grade fever. Older bodies sometimes don't show dramatic symptoms, so if something feels off, check in with your doctor sooner rather than later. Now, let's touch on something equally important but often overlooked: staying socially connected. Loneliness doesn't just affect your mood, it can weaken your immune system. A quick phone call with a friend, joining a community group, or even chatting with neighbors can make a real difference. Your body responds to connection just like it responds to healthy food or exercise. It thrives on it. So far, we've covered 4 of the big 5, and I hope you're seeing a pattern here. None of this is about drastic overhauls or expensive treatments. It's about the small, consistent choices that keep you feeling like yourself, vibrant, engaged, and in control of your health. That brings us to the 5th and final reason, which ties everything together in a way you might not expect. It's something that doesn't always make the headlines, but it's just as vital as the others. And once you understand it, you'll see how all these pieces fit into a bigger picture of living well, no matter your age. You know, when we talk about staying healthy after 75, there's one factor that quietly affects everything else. Yet hardly anyone talks about it the right way. It's not a disease or an accident. It's something far more subtle. The slow, steady decline of muscle and strength. Now that might not sound as urgent as heart disease or strokes, but here's why it matters so much. After 30, we naturally lose muscle mass each year, unless we actively work to keep it. And by our 70s and 80s, that loss can mean the difference between bouncing back from an illness or taking months to recover, or worse. But here's the wonderful part. Unlike some health risks, this one is completely in your hands. You don't need a gym membership or heavy weights. In fact, some of the best exercises are simple chair stands, gentle resistance bands, or even carrying your groceries in from the car instead of using a cart. The key is consistency. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day of moving against resistance tells your body, hey, we still need these muscles. And when you preserve strength, you're also protecting your balance, your bone density, and even your brain health. It's like a domino effect of benefits. Now, let's pair that with another game changer. Protein. Many older adults don't get enough, especially at breakfast. Try this. Add a spoonful of Greek yogurt to your morning oatmeal, or scramble some eggs with a sprinkle of cheese. These small tweaks give your body the building blocks to maintain muscle. And if cooking feels like too much some days, Keep hard-boiled eggs or cottage cheese on hand for an easy boost. But here's what ties all 5 reasons together: heart disease, respiratory issues, strokes, infections, and muscle loss. They all respond to one powerful medicine: staying engaged with life. People who have a reason to get up in the morning, whether it's gardening, volunteering, babysitting grandkids, or learning a new skill, tend to outlive those who don't. It's not just about adding years to your life, but life to your years. So let's wrap this up with 3 simple promises you can make to yourself today. First, find one type of movement you enjoy and do it regularly, whether it's walking, stretching, or dancing to old favorites in your living room. Second, eat like you're fueling a machine that deserves the best: more colorful veggies, lean proteins, and plenty of water. And third, stay connected. Call a friend, join a club, or share stories with younger family members. Your mind and body will reward you for it. Remember, aging isn't about avoiding all challenges. It's about giving yourself the tools to handle them with strength and grace. And you've already taken the first step by watching this video. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one small change you'll try this week? Drop a comment below. Your idea might inspire someone else. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on thriving at any age. Until next time, keep taking those small, powerful steps. Here's to your health and happiness. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos.